Hello everybody, my name is Spoons Rattling and welcome to a very late Combat Patrol review because this package just took forever to get here. Let's see. Oh, this is a double pack. I'm just trying to see which one's first. That's 11, that's 12, and that's 13. Alright, so here we go. First up, we have Combat Patrol 11, which is actually in this weird sort of bubble wrap. Why? I'm not entirely sure, but let's just get these two open. I'm going to just cut them open off screen to reduce noise. Why were these two bundled together? Alright, first edition, number 11. This one's pretty tame, it just includes two paints. Granted, they're both very good paints. Corax White is a really easy white to use, and Lead Belcher is just a fantastic metallic paint in general. Very useful for any painting collection. Looks like here where they have you updating your Space Marines. Standard stuff, all very good though, Looks like they're gonna go into some Mechanicus stuff here. Oh no, it's just and then bioweaponry. This is actually pretty cool, I think. It's got a sheet on the various Tyranid weapons, which I think are pretty cool. Especially the artwork. I really like the artwork for these melee weapons. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, the Tyranid weapons are all very interesting. Little story here. Looks like they're objectives, yeah. So, pretty standard stuff for this. Objective secure. It's teaching you how to do objectives, which is very good, because objectives are important to Warhammer. Because why wouldn't they be? That's the only real way you can have a game that's any deeper than just killing your opponents. Let's flip a base and see whose story we'll cover here. Bink. Okay, Tyranids. The Tyranids chitter as they psychically report their findings to the hive mind, and the Space Marines are too late. The biological samples have been analyzed and their biomass consumed. The hive mind urges its forces back, for there are more missions ahead. This brood has proven its effectiveness in battle. Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. And then there's just the preview for the next one, which has my beloved Terminators in it, which I cannot wait to paint up. Here we go. Here's issue 12. I'm going to cut this one open as well. So, this one includes the first half of the Space Marines, Teleport Homer, Assault Cannon guy. Sorry, I keep getting hair in my mouth. I do have quite long hair, but let's get into this. So it's just going to be instructions on how to build these guys. These are the monopose Terminators, of course. But still fantastic models, of course. Tactical. It goes into the different doctrines, and then there's Titus there. A few different variants of bolters, which are always cool to see. I quite like that artwork style. Going into Battle Shock, of course. More weapon artwork, all very good. Interesting, that's a heavy bolt pistol, not a regular bolt pistol. And then it looks like this is mainly going to be sort of... You're really starting to get to some proper sized games here, which is very fun. Goes into Desperate Escape. This is just an overall sort of example battle. Let's see, who wins? Bink. Tyranids again. The Tyranids have overwhelmed the Space Marines. As soon as the area is secure, the hive mind directs the swarms into an all-out attack. These simple bioforms no longer have any purpose, as they will serve as a valuable distraction. The Space Marines fight desperately, but it's too late in this battle. The Tyranids have won. Pretty standard stuff. Always cool to have those little stories, though. Adding narratives to games is just the best way to make you care more about them. So I always like to come up with a little bit of narrative for my games. Where's our next edition? We did 11, we did 12. There it is. Here's 13. Just gonna swing through that. This. Here's the next edition. One of the bases fell. Right there. Here's the rest of the Terminators, of course. I love this kit, so I'm very happy to have more of those. Even though I don't really have use for 2 sergeants, but I guess I'll just have 2 squads. Painting your Terminators, the same as how you'd paint anyone else, really. I can't wait to paint these guys. After this video, I'm probably going to start painting my Space Marines, because I want to get through most of my Space Marines by the end of next week. Yep, just overall, very cool. Interesting here, they leave the Sergeant's helmet unpainted, because obviously he's going to have a different color helmet later. Looks like this is all about the creation of a Space Marine, which is, of course, a very in-depth kind of thing. I have a dice on hand. Unfortunately, I don't. But it looks like this is just some background generation. I'll read all 3 of them. So you get a 1 or a 2. These Terminators are masters of rapid teleportation assault, unleashing hell as soon as they arrive on the field. Very cool. These Terminators record their great deeds and engravings on their armor, making each a living record of heroism. These Terminators are utterly relentless, harrying their chosen prey with a storm of fire and stopping only when they are dead. Oh yeah, and then they just tell you to use the naming Space Marines. And there's the data sheet, of course. Terminators are very, very tough and general purpose in melee. I'm a big Terminator fan. I know a lot of people think that they're kind of mediocre, but I will never leave home without them. Here we have attached units, of course, which is very, very cool. Talking about the different effects you can have. And then your standard sort of stealth as well. Example, and then we just have another example battle. That's teaching you how to play the game. Bink. Alright, Space Marines win this one. The Terminators continue their assault. Even as the Tyranids scatter and flee, they smash through every last trace of the Tyranid infestation. Stopping only to request more ammunition, these veterans may have won this battle, but there are many more Tyranids to kill. Already, the hive mind is preparing reinforcements. Of course, very, very thematic and cool, even if it's very simple. Here is edition 14 with some classic artwork right here. Really like that artwork with, can't remember his name, Blood Angel's character. But let's just, 2 amazing colors. Screamer Pink is probably my favorite red produced by Games Workshop. It's just so, or pink, I guess, but it's such a great color. I use it on my Alpha Legion. I use it on pretty much anything where I need a great sort of rich pink. And then Rakarth Flesh I haven't used before, but I mean, it looks like a very solid sort of khaki or light, sort of, not light, sort of like a olive skin tone almost, I guess is the best way I could put it. It's not really an accurate description, but you get the idea. Let's close this. Okay, it looks like it's just going in. You're using Rakarth Flesh for your purity seals, which is, of course, totally makes sense. Then you have your work in progress sort of things. They go into showing you. They recommend painting the underside of your cape, which I quite like. Oh, we're going into Inquisition. They're using Screamer Pink for tongues. That's a great use for it, but it's just so good everywhere, in my opinion. The Oath of Moment. Oh, look at that. That's old Kodiaz. You know, speaking of Kodiaz, I wouldn't even mind his new model if he still had this pose. That's really the only thing I dislike about the new Kodiaz, is they changed his pose. I think he looked way cooler before. Anyways, Oath of Moment is going to be some more Space Marine fluff. Some very stylized artwork of this Dark Angels here, which I actually quite like. It feels very comic book style, which I quite like. Stuff covering the Third Tyrannic War, of course, the devastation of Baal. Some artwork from when Ragnar cut off Ghazghkull's head. We're going into deployment. We're really getting into... Oh, and then this, of course, is when Kabanda came into the devastation of Baal. And when Dante almost died, but Sanguinius wouldn't let him. So you're really getting into proper games here. Like now you have objectives, you have deployment zones, you have pretty much everything, which is great. Of course, I imagine this would be very useful as a resource for new players. let's see who won. Hopefully the Space Marines, because I like the Terminators. Quick. Oh, Tyranids. Tyranids drag the last of the Space Marines into the shadows for a feast of biomass. The hive mind comprehends its victory and prepares to breed more infiltrating organisms. By seeding its territories with Von Ryan's Leapers, it will make recapturing the lost ground almost impossible for the Space Marines. Unlucky. So while that may be all the official additions that came in this one, where you get your Terminators and you get a set of really good paints, you also, if you're subscribed through Hachette Partworks, you get this guy who I'm really excited for. Primaris Company Champion, of course, is a model that's come around a few times as a event exclusive miniature. So it's just kind of cool to finally get him. Because I always liked this model, but I never wanted to pay exorbitant second-hand prices for him. Let me try and get this open. This one's sealed up a good bit more than the regular ones. Let me just cut it open. Okay, and I can pull through. Oops. Sorry, that took a little longer than I expected it to, but you get just a little piece of paper. This just has the instructions for your company champion. Interestingly, this guy is a push-fit model. I'll be gluing him together, of course. But it's a great model all around, in my opinion. I just think he looks really cool. Can't wait to paint him up. Of course, I'm going to be painting a lot of Space Marines this week. Because I'm getting through my pile of shame. I'm sure a lot of you saw that video the other day. If you didn't, go check it. And check out my previous video as well. Anyways, I've been Spoons Rattling. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.